The number one problem that thought leaders, coaches, consultants, creative entrepreneurs, people like yourselves have in your marketing is that there's this thing over here, this thing that you're great at, this thing that you're passionate about, this thing that you're skilled at, this thing that you produce amazing results with. And then there's this thing called marketing, which unless you train and are passionate about marketing, you probably suck at. And the problem, the number one problem, is that this thing that you're great at is bottled up behind this thing that you suck at. And when you start to do this new thing that you're now a newbie at, that you frankly probably suck at because you're new to it, and people suck at things when they're new to them, when your marketing doesn't land and people don't respond, instead of saying, wow, marketing is an entire profession all on its own, I have compassion for myself and my inability to be good at this thing that I'm new to, instead of saying that, most likely you say, wow, no one's responding. Maybe they don't want what I have. Wow, no one's responding. Maybe I'm making this whole calling thing up. Wow, no one's responding. Maybe my competitors are just way better than me. Wow, no one's responding. Maybe nobody really likes me or sees value over here. Maybe I'm the only one who sees that value. Can anyone relate to that? Okay, great. So about 60% of the hands went up. So my intention for this brief 15 minutes is not to give you a whole how-to on Facebook ads or conversion funnels or all these things where you're going to walk away with your head spinning. My intention for this talk is just to have you have the experience of the relief, of the feeling, of the knowingness that this can be done. Say it with me, people. This can be done. Yes. So, hello, everybody. My name is, and thank you for your participation. My name is Noah Hammond. I'm the founder and CEO of Ohm Marketing Group. My purpose in life is to spread messages of truth. And the reason why I founded a company that does marketing for transformational and spiritual leaders is because I believe that the single thing that needs to happen on this planet is the evolution of human consciousness. I believe that, like Einstein says, you cannot solve a problem from the same level of consciousness with which you created it. I believe that all the solutions that humanity needs for all the many problems that we're seeing, from healthcare to education to politics to everything that we're all becoming so rapidly aware of, all of the solutions are already here. It's just a matter of us as humans evolving in our consciousness to say, oh, there's the solution, and as a collective grabbing it, implementing it, and moving on into a better world and a better future. And I believe that people like yourselves are the people who are here to help humanity do that in all of your unique, gifted ways. And so my company, and the reason why Ohm Marketing Group exists, is to help people like yourselves get past this thing that you suck at and to put your gifts out into the world to evolve humanity so that we can all step into the bright, prosperous, peaceful future that we know is possible for us right now and here on this planet. And so, thank you. And so, I've been doing marketing for over a decade. I've built all kinds of companies. I've sold products in 6 different industries, from physical products to digital products, services, masterminds, everything you can name. I've done millions of dollars in online sales. If you check out my YouTube channel, it's got probably something close to 5 million views on it. If you go look for Noah Hammond on YouTube. And I don't say any of that to brag, right? I've built email lists of 50,000 followers. I've got 40,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, all this and that. None of that is to brag. It's just to let you know that I've got the in-the-trenches experience with this stuff. And what I'm about to share with you is not hyperbole. It's not made up. It's not a figment of my imagination. It's not some really well-thought-out, simple system. It's actually the culmination of a decade of intense and rigorous study with this, with more failures than successes, and more stories I could tell you about how I completely botched this thing than I care to share right now, because I want to give you the goods in these 15 minutes. But just so you know, this is coming from a place of experience. It's coming from a place of doing it, knowing it, and from that, I think this is a sign of all mastery. Mastery is simple. I'm going to make this stuff sound simple to you guys because it can be done. Say it with me, guys. This can be done. Awesome. Thank you. So, I'm going to share 5 important things that are all going to link together by the end of this short talk. The first of which is to honor the process. Say it with me, people. Honor the process. So the way we like to look at marketing, we break it down to 3 core pillars. One is awareness. The second is engagement. The third is conversion. And the simplest way to analogize this, if that's a word, is to think about a clothing store and a department store. You walk into the clothing store. First thing you have is awareness. Oh, that sweater looks really awesome, right? The next thing that happens is you walk up to it and you engage with it. Ooh, nice material. I like the price point. Good company. Maybe you take it and go try it on. You engage with it. The last thing you do is you walk over to the cash register, or someone leads you over to the cash register, and you convert. You make a purchase, right? Now, I want you to imagine a clothing store that didn't honor the process, right? So if there was no awareness in this clothing store, that would look like kind of like a big bin of clothes that are all in one pile. So you could come over and engage with it, but you have to come over and engage. You have to dig through this bin to find what you want, and then you can buy it. Makes no sense, right? Now imagine a clothing store with awareness, like things were on display, but no engagement. So everything's on display, but behind a glass box that's locked. And you're not allowed to unlock it or do anything with the clothing until you purchase it, right? Makes absolutely no sense as well, right? And then, of course, if the clothing store had no cash register and wouldn't let you buy things, you could see them and you could try them on, but you couldn't buy them. That also makes no sense at all, right? The way people buy online is the same way they buy in a clothing store. You get aware of things, you engage with things, and then you convert. And if you're the biggest problem that people have in marketing without recognizing this and honoring the process is, and raise your hand if you're guilty of this, I definitely am in my past, you put out a campaign, and that campaign, anytime you put out ad dollars, attention, energy out, you always want it to return sales and customers in, right? Who's guilty of that? Every time I market, I want a customer, right? Of course, we're all guilty of that because we're not honoring the process. The truth is that sometimes when you put out energy, attention, and ad dollars into your marketing, it's just there to generate awareness, right? It's just there to put your brand in front of people. It's just there to let people know you exist, right? Sometimes when you put out ad dollars, it's not to get a conversion, but it's just to engage with people. It's just so that people can get a deeper feel of you, more momentum from you, right? And sometimes when you put out ad dollars or energy or attention, it's to convert people and to get them into an offer to work with you more deeply. Now, all three of those things can be done in a single campaign, if you will, but you have to recognize not to measure, for example, the success of your awareness campaign based on the amount of conversions it creates. It's the wrong metric. An awareness campaign should be measured based on how many eyeballs, how much attention, how much new awareness did this thing generate, right? And it frees you up to actually honor the process. So that's the first thing, honor the process. Second thing, and you're all going to resonate with this because you're in Jeffrey's room, second thing is to market from your core. Market from your core. The most polarizing thing in a marketplace, the most polarizing thing in the world between human beings is our belief systems. It's why they tell us not to talk about what? Religion, sex, and politics. Why? Because those things are so deeply ingrained, our beliefs around those things are so deeply ingrained in our identity structures that if someone who grew up a diehard Democrat or a diehard Republican hears that you're not one of them, some people don't know how to process that. It's very polarizing, and it either puts them way away from you or way towards you. And in your marketing, it's exactly what you want, because there is no neutral. Neutral is dead. Neutral is dismissible. Neutral means no one is getting the valuable gifts that you have to give, right? And the most polarizing thing that we can put into the marketplace is our beliefs. What do we believe? Right? When I started saying things about what I believe is the way that the humanity moves forward, the whole room leaned in. And because of the room I'm in, nobody leaned out. But if it was in a different room, there might be people like, this guy's a whack job, and they would be leaning out, right? That's polarity. And the cool thing is it doesn't take you a lot of beliefs to recognize that you resonate with someone, right? So if I share a few more random beliefs off the top of my head, I believe that technology is the bridger in the gap. High tech is what's going to bridge the gap of humanity back into harmony with nature. I believe that universal basic income is a future necessity of this planet because it's not everyone's job to make money, not everyone's good at earning money, and actually there's going to be a new renaissance of artists and artistry as we put a whole bunch of robots to work for us for the things that we hate doing. I believe that a transparent, crowdsourced, social democratic political system is going to be necessary for the future of humanity because our system was not designed to manage hundreds of millions of people. As I'm saying these things, you guys are either liking me more and more or liking me less and less. These are my beliefs. You can like me less and less, and that's fine. Don't buy my products and services, right? And if you like me more and more, great. You're figuring that out right now as I'm saying these things. The other cool thing about beliefs is that beliefs are effortless for you to use as content fuel. So if I say something like, I believe that the evolution in human consciousness is the number one thing that's going to solve all the other problems, well, that's my belief, but around that belief, there's a story as to why I believe that. There's realizations I've had that have led me to believe that. And guess what that is, folks? That's content. So when you're sitting here trying to think about your how-to content, how to get people to engage with your content, and how to write yet another witty 11-step article, the 7 steps towards blah, I'm telling you to stop wasting your time and to just put your truth and your core out in the world. And the most important thing you can do, thank you, thank you, the most easy way that you can do that, and the most foundational piece of this all is travel marketing and the body of work that Jeffrey Van Dyk has blessed me with and is blessing all of you with right now. Because the truth is that until you know precisely who you're here to speak to, precisely what it is that you're here to do for them, precisely what it is that your message is, you don't have the confidence to stand in your beliefs in the marketplace. Until you have that in check, that is the root of all good marketing. Because until you have that in check, you're spineless in the marketplace. You're trying to be liked in the marketplace. You're trying to say things that are acceptable, which is all dismissible, right? So then the second thing you need to know is to market from your core. Third thing, you need to know who your one true competitor is. Your competition is not your competition. Hello, folks, we're doing good things for the world. I hope your competition is successful, and you should too. You don't actually have competition. You have one competitor only, and you all share the same competitor. It's called attention. In the 1980s, they were able to measure the average human attention span at 20 minutes. Does anyone know what it is measurable today? Does anyone have? I've heard it all. Okay, 7 seconds. So you guys have heard this stat before. We've gone from 20 minutes down to 7 seconds. Why? Well, if you watch any movie or TV show, you will never see a cut that is longer than 7 seconds. They will never hold the camera for longer than 7 seconds. If you actually start to pay attention to it, you'll see that they almost rarely use more than 3 seconds of a cut. And if you watch some of your favorite shows, you might start to notice, wow, that cuts faster than every second. Faster than every second. What else happens faster than every second? Scroll, 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 scroll. Some of you picked out your phone and started scrolling since I started making this one point. I'm looking at you in the back in the white shirt. Oh, that's a nice phone. No, I'm not actually attacking you. I'm just joking. But the thing is that we do have a supercomputer in our pockets. And so the instant that reality is boring to us, we get to scroll, 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 scroll. Oh, reality's interesting again. Cool, I'm there. Okay, back to here. Okay, cool. And it's not even just my generation. It's not these dang millennials. It's everyone. The average age in this room is probably 50 years old, and we all do this now. We've all been trained to scroll, 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 right? So what you have to recognize is that attention is your only competitor, because in the next 5 seconds, if your marketing message is boring to me, I can be scroll, oh, super hot celebrities, scroll, oh, crazy dude skydiving from space, scroll, oh, what the heck did our political dude just do again? Scroll, scroll, right? And so your marketing's job, especially first and foremost, the stuff that you're putting out into the marketplace, its job is to capture people's attention and deliver them momentum so they will self-select, they will self-engage and self-motivate back into your world. You have 7 seconds to create some sort of interest, and then I would say in the first engagement with someone, you have a few moments to create tangible forward momentum for them. And if someone gets tangible forward momentum from what you're doing in your marketing, they will self-motivate to re-engage with you. They will self-motivate to stop scrolling and to dig deeper. And you have to do that, because otherwise, scroll, scroll, scroll. So you have to know your true competitor's attention, and you have to know that the purpose of your marketing is to actually create tangible momentum for your clients that they can feel, so that they start to ask, like, wow, like if the dude's marketing or the woman's marketing message is doing this for me, what's going to happen when I actually download that PDF? What's going to happen when I actually engage in that program? What's going to happen when I actually invest in a course, right? And they start to self-motivate down that pathway. So number 3, know your true competitor. Number 4, you need to build your engaged audience. A guy named Kevin Kelly put out a report a few years back that got massive traction. It was called 1,000 True Fans. And he's basically saying that any artist who has 1,000 true fans will make a living. Because if the 1,000 true fans, these are the people who will buy everything you sell, they will support you in everything that you do because they love what you do. And if you create an opportunity for those 1,000 true fans to give you just $100 each year because of products and services and opportunities with your company, that's $100,000, that's a living. If you create the opportunity for those 1,000 true fans to give you $1,000 a year, that's $1 million business. So the whole point of this is to bring the order of magnitude in your guys' minds down. It's not I need an email list of 50,000 and I'll be visible when. It's not I need an email list of 100,000 or I need 1 million views or I need 10 million views. It's none of that. You need 1,000 people who are getting absolute value from you and who will engage with you time and time and time again. And the other valuable thing to recognize is that the old model, and I actually got this from our conversation the other day, Michael, the old model was few to many, right? When TVs first started, there was what, 3 channels? And how many millions of viewers, right? And that's why it felt like, oh, you got to cut through the noise. How am I going to get it big? How am I going to make it land? The truth is that today, it's now many channels to few. I don't care if there's only 1,000 people paying attention to me. That's not going to win me the network ratings, right? But it is going to give me $100,000 to $1 million a year business, right? And so when I'm talking about building your engaged audience, and I want to give you guys a direct example because this is easier than ever before. You have absolutely no idea how lucky we are in today's world. For example, if I started a brand new business and I had this brand new offering and I had absolutely no list, absolutely no audience, absolutely no one paying attention to me, cool. But I think that maybe Eckhart Tolle's audience that he's already built is going to resonate with my messaging. So recognizing and honoring the process, I create an awareness piece that I serve out to Eckhart Tolle's audience. And that's is that my timer or something? Okay. Anyway, don't worry about that. And what I can do, and let's give this example on Facebook. What I can do is I can actually say, okay, I'm going to serve this thing out to Eckhart Tolle's audience. And for anyone who watches at least 75% of this video that I just put out there, I'm going to mark them as engaged. They raised a hand. And I can actually, on the platform of Facebook, I can make that a unique audience, and Facebook will track all of that for you. And so I serve this thing out to Eckhart Tolle's audience. Some of them watch it and leave right away. Some of them watch at least 75% of them. I call those people engaged. Now, the next time I'm putting out a piece of content, I go straight back to those people first, and it's a teeny tiny audience, so it only costs me teeny tiny amounts of dollars to put myself back in front of them. And I continue to also serve it out to Eckhart Tolle's larger audience, and more people engaged on the next piece and come into my engaged audience, and it grows. And the next time I put out another piece of content, it goes out to them, and it goes out to the cold hard masses, and some more of them siphon into this engaged audience, and it grows, and it grows, and it grows. And like we talked about with beliefs, when someone hears what you believe 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, when they get value from you 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, that's when they ascend with you. And so building your engaged audience, which has never been easier and never more accessible, is one of the key focuses of your business. And the last thing I'll say, 5th, is you need to embrace ever-presence. Embrace ever-presence. The one thing that we never will ever control in marketing is timing. And actually, this stat is really revealing. 85% of all people who will make a buying decision will do so between 3 months and 2 years after their initial inquiry. So 85% of the people who are going to buy something from you, if they downloaded something today, if they got on your list today, they're not going to buy anything from you until 3 months to 2 years after. And it doesn't even mean they're going to buy it from you, because when they make that buying decision, when the timing is right for them, they're going to buy whoever is top of mind for them. They're going to buy whoever is currently creating momentum for them, which is why you've always been harped on, oh, manage your list, nurture your list, this and that. The point, though, is that, for example, if I have the perfect audience, the perfect offer, the perfect everything in front of the perfect person, if that person's dog passed away this morning, the cart close of my big launch is happening today, what do you think the likelihood is that they're also jumping on to put their credit card in, right? Very low. So my job is to create a system by which I'm always putting out awareness and creating more people who are aware with me, more people who are raising their hand and stepping into my engaged audience, and I'm constantly engaging and re-engaging that audience, ever-presently is what I like to call, and I'm ever-presently having opportunities for people to convert with me. And if I ever-presently do that, and ever-presently do this, and ever-presently have an opportunity for converting, when the time is right, you'll be top of mind and they'll buy from you. And this is how you, as a leader, get to step into abundance consciousness, where you're not saying, no, please come back, please, you're so perfect for me. If it's perfect, if they're the perfect client and the timing's not perfect, that's fine. You'll be here when the time is right for them. And when you combine all these things, when you market from your core, when you have your foundation with Jeffrey's work, when you know what you're here to stand on in the marketplace, and when you have a system to leverage your content so that you're ever presently generating awareness, engagement, and conversion, you have the right offers in place, the right sales funnels and conversion vehicles in place for your conversion, you have the right engagement content strategy going on, you have the right strategy in place for awareness and generating new awareness. When that is all operating ever presently, when it's always happening, you sit in abundance consciousness. You do your work. You enjoy the process. You stop fighting things that you can't control. And you get to have this experience of doing your work in the world. And the whole point of everything I've just shared is so that you can all say with me now, this can be done. Thank you, everybody.
Awesome.